Do you know that in the 1930s, the US government ran one of the biggest gold scams of all time? In the early 1930s, unemployment was through the roof, banks were failing, and people were hoarding cash and gold, causing mass deflation as they worried about what was going on in the economy. So, President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who took office in 1933, immediately almost decided that it was going to be a federal offense to hoard gold in excess of $100. That's right, he made it a federal offense to hoard gold. In essence, you had to sell it back to the government. Otherwise, you could face up to a $10,000 fine or 10 years in prison. And you have to remember, this is $10,000 back in 1930. That's not today's money. One of the reasons that he did this was to prevent further bank runs, right? They had to stop the destruction of the economy. But funny enough, they also at the same time built up the government gold reserves. Now, the government didn't just force people to give it back, right? They actually bought it at about $20 an ounce, which is what the price was at the time. But over time, they accumulated roughly $300 million worth of gold from the public during this buyback period. And then, funny enough, after they had bought all of this gold back from the public, on January 30th of 1934, they instituted the Gold Reserve Act. And what that did changed everything. Because you see, what happened is they transferred the gold from that act, from the Federal Reserve to the Treasury, which allowed the president to revalue gold. And almost immediately, Roosevelt revalued gold from $20 an ounce to about $35 an ounce. And overnight, the federal deficit shrank significantly as there was a 69% increase in the value of gold held by the United States. But at the same time, the dollar was devalued at about 40% overnight. So this means that everybody who just sold their gold back to the government at $20 an ounce not only lost out on the massive increase in value, but that dollar that they got back was devalued by 40%. So people got destroyed in the process while the US government helped take care of their national debt. This profit was then used to help stabilize banks and ultimately did help bring the economy back. But I just find it all funny, right? Because here we are in modern America and we have a $37 trillion debt. It's wild, it's out of control, and there's really no way to pay it off. But if the government were to revalue a gold or a Bitcoin, maybe something could be different. And let's be honest, we all know that silver is running like crazy right now. And what's to stop the government from coming in and just essentially saying,